Do you often get angry because of a negative event or a toxic person who behaved badly towards you? Anger is a negative emotion that we all feel sooner or later. However, it is important to be able to control it so that it does not damage our personal growth and our mental and physical health. In this video, thanks to a Zen story and the monk Aiko, we will see how to remove anger from your life in order to find the serenity that we all need. But before continuing, two recommendations. Stay until the end, because we will give you some very important practical advice that will make you feel better. Also, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share the video. Thanks to these small gestures, you will stay informed about new content, and we will be able to produce videos of value for your spiritual growth every day. In an isolated monastery among the majestic mountains of a remote region of Japan, there lived a wise and elderly monk called Aiko. This monastery was renowned as a haven of peace and wisdom, where monks sought the path of Zen to find balance and serenity in life's challenges. And Aiko, in particular, was the master who followed many people on their spiritual path who traveled thousands of kilometers just to have an encounter with him. One day, a young monk named Koji approached Aiko with a heart tormented by anger. His soul was tormented by violent emotions, and he felt that the fury was overshadowing the serenity of his monastic life. "Master," said the young man, "for months I have felt attacked by a very strong anger towards others and towards the world. This makes me sick. How can I understand the causes and get out of it?" Aiko, with her calm look and wisdom, agreed to listen to him and teach him how to help himself. Sitting in the shade of an ancient cherry tree, the master began to tell stories and examples of how others had solved their problems with anger. "We had a young monk, similar to you, Koji," Aiko said. "His name was Takeshi, and his anger burned like an uncontrolled fire. But through the Zen path that we built together, he managed to transform that destructive storm into a harmonious dance that would lead him on the path to peace." The old monk explained to the boy that the root of anger lies in attachment to expectations and in the inability to accept things as they are. Anger is like a burden that we carry with us, hoping that others will feel the weight, but in reality, what makes the burden heavy are our own internal resistances. The Zen path teaches us to free ourselves from this burden, to loosen the chains of anger, and to dance lightly on the path of life. Koji, eager to embrace the Zen path, with Aiko's help began his journey of self-exploration. He learned to meditate deeply, to embrace awareness of the present moment, and to let go of illusions of the past and future. Because, as Aiko had explained to him, what makes us angry are the memories of an unpleasant past and the anxiety for a future that we would like to be better. Over time, his mind began to calm down, and he began to understand the importance of focusing on the here and now, not living in obsession with the past and the future. However, Koji's true test was yet to come. During a special ceremony in the monastery, as luck would have it, an unusual event triggered a series of conflicts between the monks. Old disagreements came to the surface, and sharp words rang through the ancient walls of the monastery. Koji, witnessing this emotional storm, felt tempted to give in to anger, but then he remembered Aiko's words about non-identification and accepting the present. He breathed deeply, centering his awareness in the present moment, and, instead of joining the uproar, he approached the teacher Sen, the keeper of the ancient wisdoms of the monastery, and respectfully shared his perspective on the situation and asked for advice. Teacher Sen, an elderly man with eyes as deep as wells of wisdom, replied with a sympathetic smile. "Koji, life is like a river. It may be calm or stormy, but its true beauty lies in its fluidity. Do not allow the storms of life to push you off course. Maintain your inner calm like the deep waters of a pristine lake." Koji, inspired by Sen's words, returned to his fellow monks with renewed determination. He shared the story of the river and its fluidity with others, encouraging them to find strength in inner calm. However, the monastery did not immediately transform into an oasis of peace. Some monks resisted the change, clinging to their old wounds and the anger that consumed them. The tension persisted, like a storm that refuses to go away. Koji, despite the challenges, maintained his steadfast dedication to the Zen path. During a night of meditation under the starry sky, he found inspiration in the silence of nature, and he understood the importance of broadening his perspective. The young monk gathered his companions in the monastery courtyard. "Look at the stars," he said, looking up. "Each of them has its place in the infinite sky, without competing with the others. We can learn from them. Each of us has our own path, our own light. Let us not allow anger to darken our individual brilliance." Koji's words resonated among the monks like a melody of wisdom. The tension began to melt, like snow in the heat of the sun. The monastery, once shaken by the storms of anger, was slowly becoming a place of peace. The monks, inspired by Aiko and Koji's lessons, began to see the monastery as a sanctuary of wisdom and compassion. The story of Aiko and Koji became a legend, passed down from generation to generation as a hymn to inner strength, compassion, and transformation. Every monk who came to the monastery felt the call of the lotus, encouraged to grow in the mud of life without allowing impurities to disturb their inner peace. But at this point, what is the moral of this story? That anger is a destructive storm that can cloud our inner peace. However, through the Zen path and wisdom, we can transform this storm into a harmonious dance with life. In conclusion, here are 5 practical tips for eliminating anger from your life. Practice mindfulness first. Take time every day to practice meditation and mindfulness. Learn to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing them to flow without attachment. Then change your perspective. When you face stressful situations, try to broaden your perspective. Imagine looking at your life from above, as if you were a satellite in the sky. This will help you see challenges as part of a bigger picture. The third practical tip is to cultivate kindness. Practice kindness towards yourself and others. Kindness and compassion are powerful antidotes to anger. Remember that each of us is like a lotus that can grow in the mud of life. Another important piece of advice is to accept impermanence. Nothing is eternal, not even anger. Remember that emotions are transitory. Accept the impermanence of life and let go of what you cannot control. And finally, communicate openly. When conflicts arise, try to communicate openly and respectfully. Listen to others without judging and seek solutions through constructive dialogue. Remember, by following these tips, you can begin a journey of personal transformation, untying the bonds of anger and embracing inner peace. Like the lotus growing in the mud, your inner strength can flourish regardless of life's storms. What do you think about it? Will you follow these tips? Write your opinion in the comments and let's talk about it together.